What's up, nation? Welcome back to another episode of Night of the Shield. My name is Jason Smith, aka The Knight, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about Jimmy G. I just got done watching his presser. A little awkward, it seemed a bit to me, but we'll get into some of the things that I think as a whole about Jimmy G. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you can be updated every time I drop another video, and smack that like button. Let's continue to move up the algorithm. All right, for the past 24 hours, I've been listening to all the banter surrounding Jimmy G. And for the past year plus, I've been hearing all the banter around the Patriot Way. What does the Patriot Way mean? I've been asking a lot of people that I know, Raider fans and non-Raider fans, of what they think the Patriot Way is. And I got a lot of different responses. Some I agree with, some I don't. But what does it mean for Jimmy G to be here? Does Jimmy G mean the Patriot Way? Yeah, to a certain degree. I mean, he started his career off with the Patriots under Josh McDaniels, and you heard him talk about it a little bit in his presser about how he didn't have a playbook in college. He learned everything that he knows about diagnosing defense and understanding the playbook and pointing the mic out and doing all that stuff from Josh McDaniels. So their relationship goes back not only to the beginning, but it is the core of what Jimmy Garoppolo understands about the game of football. So that played a big part of why he's here. So you hear a lot of people around the league talking about, again, the Patriot Way. Some people like, oh, I'm done with the Patriot Way. I don't like the Patriot Way. And I believe that there's reasons why they don't like the Patriot Way. And a lot of that is pride, not being able to humble yourself. Maybe your experience under the Patriot Way wasn't what you expected, or it was so good that you were so upset that they wouldn't pay you X amount of dollars to continue to be a part of the Patriot Way, right? So again, what you heard all last year, Josh McDaniels take the podium. We all were upset. We were falling apart. Derek Carr was struggling. The defenses were struggling. You know, a lot of the receivers couldn't get on the same page. You heard Derek say it. You heard Josh say it. You heard Devontae say it. You heard a lot about people not buying in. You kept hearing things like execute, do your job, know your assignment, follow through. The Patriot Way always has been around Tom Brady and Tom Brady's commitment to hit the organization and how it's ran, and just do your job. If you do your job and you focus on what you're supposed to do and you do it right, everything else falls into place. It's a team sport. I've said that on this channel for a very, very long time. It's all about the person next to you. It's not just so much about the individual. You could do your job extremely well. Let's take Max Crosby, for example. Extremely dedicated to the cause, high motor, always after the quarterback, always right around the ball on the quarterback, but he can't do it himself. He needs all the other players behind him and beside him to do their job, to make his job even easier and get his talents to come out and be that much more effective in the game. So Patriot Way, non-Patriot Way, you could call it whatever you want. The difference between the Patriots and the rest of the league in the recent memory of the future, because of all the championships and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, even with the cheating, right? It's all about committing yourself to the cause. No player is above the team. Remember that. And Jimmy G is here to bring that culture. You heard it. They want to change the culture. They believe in the players, not the player. Okay, plural. Players, not the player. Oftentimes, I remember growing up and watching the Patriots always being able to adjust. One guy goes out, they plug another person in. It's seamless. They teach a scheme. They teach a system. The Patriot Way is about knowing your job and doing your job well. And not only your job, but being able to do multiple jobs. That's not a big news story to me. That's football as a whole. The biggest problem that people have with the Patriots is when it comes down to paying the people, they know that everybody's replaceable. Everybody's replaceable in their system. That's what they believe, and they continue to move forward that way. Last year, everybody struggled getting on the same page, especially offensively. I can't speak much on Patrick Graham. There's not enough out there for us to understand what he is trying to do, but he has the biggest job on this franchise right now, hands down. This guy has to come in and really implement something, get people to buy in, coach it well, and have the pieces that will follow what he's teaching. Hence, I think that's why Tillery's back. You know, I think he's bringing back guys that he thinks he can mold into what he's trying to do, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it until I'm not. I always say that, right? I'm here for it until I'm not. He's the defensive coordinator. I'm here for it. Jimmy G has been brought in here. Jacoby Myers was brought in here. Dorsett was brought in here, right? These guys were brought in to help mold this offense, not only from a schematic perspective, but the philosophy of it, meaning do your job. When Josh calls the play and the play says, run the route here, be here, do this, do that. This is your area. This is my area. You block that guy. You block that guy. Do it this way. Do it that. When everything is in sync, we've seen what this offense can do. And it is up to the trigger man, the quarterback, to make sure that not only is he reading the defense, but he's also understanding the concept of the play, who's the target, in what order. And it's not a bad thing to say Derek struggled with that. He did. All right. He believed in the Gruden way. Gruden had his own way of doing it. But the philosophy never changes. So it's the Gruden way, right? It's the Kyle Shanahan way. Every great offensive mind, every great offensive coordinator has a system, a belief, and a philosophy. And even Gruden used to say he liked his Gruden grinders. What was a Gruden grinder? A guy that would come in and grind and do his job, not worry about the next man or the next man beyond that. Do his job. If all 11 people on the field do their job, I mean, again, it doesn't have to be at the highest level, but at the highest level you get, the more production you're going to get out of it from an offensive perspective. And let's not forget, okay, Jimmy G is not coming here to be the savior. Once again, Jimmy G is coming here, in my opinion, to bring a culture, a belief into the system that's being implemented. The culture, establish the grounds of what Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler expect, not only from the offense, but from this football team. Here's our scheme. Here's our schematic. We're looking for people to come in, buy into the system, listen to their coaches, and execute, period. Jimmy G has done it. I believe when he went over to the Niners, he did it for Kyle Shanahan. That's where he found his success. Is Jimmy G like off the charts, the best quarterback the Raiders have ever seen? Probably not. Does he have an opportunity to become that in this system? Yeah, he does. If he does his job like he did when he was in New England, learning from the same guy who taught him all the X's and O's. Again, opportunity is there. It's not a guarantee. Everybody needs to sit back and chill. Okay? I'll tell you right now. All right, before I get out of here. Once again, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button before I get out of here. What is the Patriot Way? I'm going to tell you right now what the Patriot Way is. Jimmy G kind of talked about it himself, but nobody's using the words. We are not the Patriot West. We are the Raiders. The Patriot Way around here is simple. It's a commitment to excellence. Night out.